Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a video discussing how The Double is a satirical show and why satire works very differently in China in comparison to the West. So let's get right into it. So I personally view The Double as a satirical show because when you're watching it visually, everything that you're looking at is very ridiculous, but the narrative is very serious, right? This lady whose husband betrays her and buries her alive and leaves her for dead, and her whole journey to revenge. Quite a serious narrative, right? Quite a serious story. But then when you're looking at it and you're looking at the events play out, it's clownery, it's tomfoolery, it's ridiculousness. And so I believe that the reason why the narrative veers towards the serious and the visual veers towards something a bit more ridiculous is because they can't have the subject matter being what it is be a little too ridiculous. Like, it would be crossing some sort of boundaries in terms of censorship. And so unlike shows like The Office in the West, or Recreation and Park and stuff like that, Parks and Recreation and such things in that kind of genre, they can't both be narratively ridiculous and visually ridiculous, because maybe it's possible that culturally it would work differently, but also the subject matter limits the ability to poke fun at the situation. And maybe if The Double wasn't what it was about, maybe they could veer towards something more like The Office and stuff like that. And there have been times where satire, I guess, is more blatant in terms of narrative. If you look at shows like The Hilarious Family or even Legendary Life of Queen Lao, those ones are way more obviously satirical kind of thing. They're poking fun at certain tropes and genre stuff. But I feel like getting something like The Office in China may well be different because of censorship boards, because of limits in creativity and such things. And I'd actually be curious to know if any of you have watched anything that's kind of similar to The Office, both visually and narratively, from mainland China in particular. I'd be so curious to see that, right? I know South Korea has their own SNL, right? So I know they probably have satirical stuff that are simply satirical, but I've never been made aware of a Chinese equivalent, and I'd be super interested to see if that's even a thing. And also with The Double, right, everything in that show is a double entendre. The visual and narrative being so opposite, the whole thing about the taking somebody else's identity and then taking revenge for them, and also the complex dynamic with Shen Yurong, the ex-husband of the female lead, the good and the bad side of him, the balance of good and bad, evil and good, how complicated people are, right? It's very interesting. Everything is done so purposefully and satirical in a way that it's not necessarily only poking fun at certain tropes, it's also poking fun at itself and the whole aspect of doubles and opposites and binaries. The whole thing is a joke in completion. So I personally find that really interesting to watch. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Like this video, please hit the like button below. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.